Hello everybody, welcome to the session on power electronics. But before actually going into the subject, we will first discuss the actual content and different programs or subjects to be discussed and learned by you in the fifth semester level. Here we have the copy of C18 curriculum for fifth semester of Diploma in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, which comprises of total 10 subjects put together 501 F2, 510P, and also skill upgradation. In this, we have 503E as an elective subject, under which two subjects are allocated. Industrial electronics is coded as 503EA and power electronics as 503EB. For our institute, the program elective offered to you is power electronics, that is 18EE 503EB. And this power electronics subject comprises of total 6 chapters put together, where the first chapter is the basics of power electronics or power electronic devices. Next, converters, or that is the different devices which will be used in the field of power electronics by using the above power electronic devices to have our applications. And all the following units comprise also the same power electronic devices, that is AC voltage regulators and choppers, inverters and cycloconverters. In all these 2, 3 and 4 units, we will be discussing the different power electronic devices, their characteristics and their control. And in the fifth and sixth units, speed control of DC and AC motors and also applications of power electronic circuits. We will be studying the applications of what we have understood in the first 4 units regarding the power electronic devices. And before actually entering into this subject, there are some prerequisite subjects which you have to understand. And obviously, you know that you have all the prerequisites which are designated here as this course requires the knowledge of electronics engineering, that is mainly semiconductor devices and circuits and electrical machines DC and AC. From the first semester onwards up to fourth semesters, you have already studied various fundamentals of electrical circuits and then again electrical machines. And also in the third and fourth semesters, you have studied the basics of electronics engineering and particularly the semiconductor devices and circuits. So you have entered this semester to study the subject of power electronics with the enough ammunition or with the enough concepts regarding the electronics as well as electrical machines. And the total course is also designed to mainly have 6 course objectives, CO1 to CO6, one course objective each for one unit. In the first unit, that is power electronic devices, the main course objective is, after understanding the concepts, you would be able to compare different power electronic devices, their characteristics, their uses, and their advantages and disadvantages, and based on that, how to select the device, proper device based on the requirement. And accordingly, for different chapters, converters, the course objective is defined, use different converter circuits as per requirement. Next, for the third unit, acquire the knowledge to construct AC, construct or design AC regulators and chopper circuits, acquire the knowledge to construct and use inverters and cycloconverter circuits, apply the power electronic drives for speed control of DC, AC motors and compare specific power electronic drives, apply power electronic circuits for specific applications. So with these course objectives, the total subject is designed into 6 units, and we will be dealing with the basics of power electronics in the first unit in the form of power electronic devices. Before we proceed further, we will discuss the evolution of power electronics from the fields of electrical and electronics. Power electronics is one of the contemporary subjects of electrical engineering which has seen a lot of advancements in recent times and has impacted human life in almost every sphere. We over ourselves use so many power electronic applications in our daily life without even realizing them. Now the question stands as, what is power electronics? The power electronics is the field of electronic power electronics is the field of engineering which deals with the conversion or control of electric power by wave shaping of voltage, current, or both using fast switching power semiconductor devices designed to operate at power frequency voltages and currents to control the performance of various loads. So actually, the power electronics is an intermediary equipment between the actual power supply and the main electrical load which is to be driven. But before that, b- before again actually discussing these things, why the need for these power electronics came into picture, this we have to understand. When it comes to electronics, which you have already studied, that is basics of electronics, electronic components and devices. In that, you have studied mainly diodes, transistors, diodes, triacs, and their characteristics. And just you, you try to recall what is the nature of the power supply which you have fed to the electronic components, or just try to recall the power supply on which electronic components work or operate. Yes, it is DC only, or all electronic components or electronic circuits operate under DC. They are designed to be operated under DC power supply, and that too for a operating voltage ranges from 5 volts to a maximum of 65 volts only. That is, they are designed to be operated under low voltages on DC supply, and one more thing which you have to understand is, as they are operating under DC means the frequency of the current and voltages which are driving them operate at zero frequency. It is all electronic components fall under DC components which operate at zero frequency, that is 0 hertz. Then there comes a need where in electrical appliances or electrical field where the actual power, electrical power, which is utilized in our daily life, whether it is for domestic purpose or any other purpose like agriculture or commercial or industrial purposes. The nature of supply is AC, and in India the frequency of the power supply is 50 hertz. And also the ratings of the voltages and currents from generation, transmission to distribution level where the loads are actually utilizing the electrical energy. Those voltage and currents are very high when compared to the normal electronic component operating voltage and current ratings. And when it comes to normal single phase AC supply, it is 230 volts, 50 hertz, and current ratings range from even 6 amps to 20 amps for domestic loads, and more than that for agriculture and industrial loads. For industrial loads, again, and also even for domestic loads, there will be three phase loads which operate under 440 volts and more currents. When it comes to transmission lines and even distribution lines, the operating voltages are of the order of thousands of volts, 11 kV, 33 kV and above, and hundreds and thousands of amperes will be flowing through the lines. But how these things are controlled? By electrical means, it is very difficult to control them. In the olden days, the control aspects or regulating aspects of these transmission and distribution voltage and currents was done by electrical means, but it is not efficient. But after the invention of semiconductor components, semiconductor devices, or electronic devices which can be operated at power frequency voltages and currents and frequencies, that is our AC voltages and currents and frequencies. When such components are invented, then the actual importance of power electronics came into picture, where the power electronic devices are used power electronic devices are used in between the power supply and the load, where these devices will control the power supply in the required fashion by the load. If you want to increase or decrease the current fed to the load, if you want to increase or decrease the voltage, or if you want to control the frequency, or if you want to filter the ripples in the waveform or the harmonics in the waveform which are going to enter the load, these power electronic devices will be doing the needful things. And these power electronic devices, because of this aspect, have gained importance in almost all the fields of engineering, without which nowadays we cannot imagine any system to exist. We will just once again go through the definition of power electronics. Power electronics is the field of engineering which deals with the conversion or control of electrical power by wave shaping of voltage, current, or both using fast switching power semiconductor devices designed to operate at power frequency voltages and currents to control the performance of various loads. The same thing is shown just in a block diagram like this. And when it comes to other aspects of control of electrical energy, The power electronic devices are having some definite advantages which are listed over here. It is high efficiency due to low loss, high reliability, long life and less maintenance, small size and less weight, low cost, and fast dynamic response. All these are certain advantages when compared to the other electrical aspects which are used to control voltages and currents in the electrical power systems by relays, circuit breakers, and other protective and control equipment. The actual evolution of power electronics started in 1950s, where in 1958 General Electric Company invented the first silicon based power electronic devices, which is called as thyristor. Before that, this control of energies or control of other aspects of voltage and current was done at lower levels of voltage and currents, that too only in the field of electronic engineering by the then existing diodes, transistors, and other components which were designed for lesser ratings. When it comes to electrical engineering, where the conversion from one form of electrical energy into another form, that is DC to AC, AC to DC, and other things, was done mainly due to mercury arc rectifiers or thyrotrons, which were very big in size, volume, and their efficiency was very less. They were not reliable, and even their power consumption was also very high. Losses were very high, and also cost was also high. Even when it comes to response, fast dynamic response, also when compared to the now existing power electronic devices, that was very far behind. So previously, when thyrotrons were there, it was very difficult to do the control things. But once after the invention of this thyristor, it became easier. Thyristor is nothing but a derived word from the combination of thyrotron and transistor. Thyrotron and transistor. And the first invented one was made up of silicon thyristor, and it is also called as SCR, silicon controlled rectifier. Silicon controlled rectifier. And then, because of its utility, more technological research was done, and a vast development came into existence. Thyristor was not only made up of silicon, it is made up of germanium and even other semiconductor materials also. But the name SCR stands good for that device, and eventually the power electronic field entered into all the applications related to whether it is residential or transportation or telecommunication or commercial or space or research applications or artificial intelligence, wherever a sort of control is required to process process the electrical and electronic signals at whatever ratings we want. So nowadays we cannot imagine anything without the power electronic devices. Of all the examples given in these categories, these applications are also somewhat older ones. When it comes to present days, we are unknowingly using many things, and our daily life is full of such utilizations wherein we are using mobiles. Your mobiles, that is mobile chargers, basically they are made up of power electronic devices. Even the mobile power supplies, inside the power supplies, batteries, when it comes to your laptops, desktops, computers, printers, everywhere, wherever there is a need to process and alter the power from one level to another level, or to refine the shape of the waveform of the voltage and current, power electronics will come into existence. The basic type of the power electronic device which we have already mentioned is thyristor. The name is induced from its operation and working as a combination of thyratron and transistor. When it comes to the actual definition of thyristor, thyristor is a four layer PNPN. Thyristor is a four layer, three junction and three terminal device. Four layers means it will comprise a P layer, then N layer, then a P layer, then an N layer. Or you can also visualize this as number of PN junctions sandwiched together or joined together in adjacent layers, where three junctions will be formed, and eventually it will be having three terminals named as anode, cathode and gate. Though the first power electronic device which was designed was thyristor or SCR, there are many more power electronic devices which fall into this category, and so they are called as the category of thyristor family devices. The first invented thyristor family device is silicon control rectifier and commonly referred or called to as thyristor. And the thyristor family devices and their symbols are listed and given in the following slides. They are SCR, DIAC, TRIAC, GTO-SCR, SUS, SBS, SCS, LASCR, ASCR, RCT, and SATH. Apart from these thyristor family devices, there are many more power electronic devices which are extensively used nowadays, but depending on their operation, they will not be categorized as thyristor family devices because their working will be slightly different, and they will be acting similar to transistors. They are power BJT, that is power bipolar junction transistor, power MOSFET, and IGBT. IGBT is insulated gate bipolar transistors. Though IGBT consists of four layers, three junctions, as its operation is in different fashion from thyristors, it is not categorized as thyristor family device. We will go through the symbols of the thyristor family devices one by one. First, to start with, it is the SCR silicon controlled rectifier. Why it is called controlled rectifier? That will be discussed when we discuss the VA characteristics of the SCR. When you see this symbol, apart from this G, this terminal, the remaining figure is just similar to a PN junction diode where terminal anode and cathode are designated like this, where if you give a positive supply between anode and cathode, the diode will be forward biased. When compared to that diode, SCR will be having a third terminal called gate, which is connected more nearer to cathode than to the anode. That is why in the symbol gate is shown connected from this end or to this end instead of this end. So it is a three terminal device designated as anode, cathode and gate terminals. The next one is diode. It is nothing but bidirectional diode thyristor. When you see the figure or symbol of the diode, you can just simply understand that it results from two PN junction diodes connected in anti-parallel. Connected in anti-parallel. So when compared to conventional diode, which conducts only in one direction, that is forward bias, as diode comprises of two diodes connected in anti-parallel, you can just imagine that in one direction, that is from T1 to T2, the upper diode conducts, and in the other direction from T2 to T1, the bottom diode conducts. But the actual VA characteristics will be discussed in the following sessions. As it is conducting in both the directions, it is called as bidirectional diode thyristor. Whereas SCR is mainly used in only one direction, it is a unidirection device. The other main device to be discussed is triac. Again, this is also a bidirectional triac also conducts in both directions, so it is called bidirectional triode thyristor. Triode was the name given even before the invention of power electronics, where for a three terminal device it is called as triode. So triac is nothing but a bidirectional triode thyristor where the terminals are designated as T1, T2 and G, a gate. The main SCR, diac and triac are the main power electronic devices, and the development of which further led to the invention of many more thyristor family devices. From SCR came another interesting type of SCR, which is called as GTO SCR, that is gate turn off SCR. The difference between the SCR and this GTO SCR is this GTO SCR can be turned on with the aid of gate. At the same time, it can also be turned off by the gate. Whereas in the actual conventional basic type of SCR, it can only be turned on by the gate, but it cannot be turned off once it enters into the conduction mode by the gate. So that is why here the symbol is shown with a cross line on the gate terminal or double-sided arrows in the gate terminal. All other features remain the same. The next one is SUS, silicon unidirectional switch. When compared to other family of thyristor devices. It is another thyristor family devices having three terminals and four layers, but it can conduct only in one direction and will be having similar characteristics to a diode, bidirectional diode. That is why it is shown with only one half of the diode. The next one is SBS silicon bidirectional switch. It is just the other development for SUS where it can conduct in both directions, forward and reverse direction, which will be having T1, T2 and gate terminals. Next one is silicon controlled switch, where when compared to the normal SCR, which will be having anode, cathode and only one gate, it cannot be used in both directions and also it cannot be turned off by the gate. But the silicon controlled switch SCS, by providing another gate towards the anode, you can make the same thing to conduct in both the directions, but identical characteristics may not be obtained in forward and reverse directions. There will be some difference between them, but it can be used in both the directions and also by the gate control you can turn it on. The another interesting type of SCR is light activated SCR. It is just same as the conventional SCR, silicon control rectifier, but it is made up of materials which can be activated when some light rays fall onto them. That is, optically sensitive or light sensitive materials are used in construction of the light activated SCR, like chromium sulfide, like things. And when light rays falls on this, voltage will be generated slowly. When the voltage builds up across it, it will conduct just in the similar fashion to the normal SCR. The other one is asymmetrical SCR, ASCR. Again, it is a modified version of the conventional SCR, which is not, that is in the same inner layers of PNPN junction. PNPN, the doping will be different in different regions of the same layer. That is why it is called asymmetrical SCR. Next one is reverse conducting thyristor, RCT. Just a moment ago we have discussed that SCR will be mainly used in only one direction but not in the reverse. But this RCT, with its modified construction and doping of the layers, it can be used in the reverse direction. That is why it is called as reverse conducting thyristor. Just like in the case of diode and Zener diode, where Zener diode is mainly used in reverse bias condition, this reverse conducting thyristor is also mainly designed and used for reverse bias conditions. And the last one is SITH, static induction thyristor. It is again similar to the conventional thyristor, but with the induction effects, static induction effects by the nearby inductive devices. The induced voltage may turn it off. And these are the types of devices. Totally put together, there are 11 thyristor family devices comprising of 4 layers and called as thyristor family devices. And here we have a photographical view of various SCR devices. All these are these thyristor family devices. So just to have a summary of what we have discussed, power electronics deals with efficient conversion and flexible control of electric power for various applications. And any 4 layer, 3 junction, and 3 terminal device is called thyristor family device. And most commonly used power electronic device is SCR. We can have a simple quiz for recalling the things which we have discussed. It is uh, how many number of junctions are there in a thyristor? The number of PN junctions in a thyristor is, just think over how many. It is a 4 layer device with how many junctions? PN, PN. One junction between P upper PN, next inner NP, second junction, next outer NP, third junction. So the number of PN junctions in a thyristor is 3. Your answer is C. Which one of the following is a unidirectional device? Diag, triag, SUS, SBS. As we already discussed and know, diag is bidirectional, triag is bidirectional, and SBSB stands for bidirectional silicon bidirectional switch. SUS is silicon unidirectional switch. It can conduct in only one direction. So your answer is C. SUS, silicon unidirectional switch. And just uh, go through the following for understanding the concepts and also for preparation for the assignments and exams. Some of the frequently asked questions are: draw the symbols of the following devices: SCR, diag, triag, GTO, SCR. Explain the construction details of silicon controlled rectifier with neat sketch and draw its symbol. List out various 4 layer PNPN devices which fall under thyristor family. You have 11 lists. Again, when it comes to this one, in this particular session, we have discussed the construction details as just a 4 layer and junctions, but we didn't discuss about the materials used for it and how the different dopings are done, how the different terminals are connected. So the mainly this question which will also be discussed in the next session. So that is what we have discussed so far in this session. We can trace the overwhelming advancement in this subject back to the development of commercial thyristors or silicon control rectifiers by General Electric Co. in 1958. Before this, the control of electric energy was mainly done using thyratrons and mercury arc rectifiers, which works on the principle of physical phenomena in gases and vapors. And as we have discussed, Already many development came after that. Technological advancement came into picture. Because of that, many power electronics devices came into picture. After SCR, a great many power electronic devices have emerged like GTO, IGBT, SIT, MCT, that is mass conducting thyristor, TRIAC, DIAC, IEGT, IGCT, and so on. These devices are rated for several hundreds of volts and amperes, unlike the signal level devices which work at few volts and milliamperes. In order to achieve the purpose of power electronics, the devices are made to work as nothing more than a switch. All the power electronic devices act as a switch and have two modes, that is on and off. And the total power electronics and the control mainly focuses the working of these devices during their on position and off position. And when it comes to the the actual need of power electronics, again, which we have already discussed again in a different fashion in the slides, we will just go through with a fast recap. Switching losses are small compared to conduction losses in power electronic devices. The main types of conversions are DC to DC, which you have already discussed at third and fourth semester levels. DC to DC conversion is called as choppers. Next, AC to DC, that is called as rectification. DC to AC called as inversion, and AC to AC is called as regulation, and also cyclo conversion where frequency is changed. So that is all for today's session. We will be continuing our discussion and put up our focus mainly on the basic power electronic devices, that is thyristor, that is SCR, silicon control rectifier. In the next session, we will be discussing the constructional details of SCR and its different working and VA characteristics. Thank you.